Welcome to Uncorked, the Welsh Wine Podcast. This is the only podcast focused on Welsh wine. I'm Jamie.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm Angela.
This is the last of the season.
It is, yeah.
And we're going to do a Christmas special.
Woohoo.
Nadolig Llawen.
Nadolig Llawen.
And are we feeling festive?
Very.
Well, I've got a Christmas jumper on. I thought we were going to make an effort, but, apparently not.
I mean,
I've got a Christmas tree up. There's
I was
Christmas
expecting
decorations.
antlers.
Yeah, no, I got dressed in the dark this morning, quite literally. So, I didn't make any effort.
Still look handsome.
All right, let's start with some wine, shall we? Because,
Yes.
It's festive and all that.
Yeah.
What are we drinking today, Sarah?
Right, so I've actually managed to get my hands on a bottle of the Gafr Wen 2024 vintage from Tair Gafr Wines. Now, this is quite special. I've not tried this before, right? So it's quite literally just been bottled. I think it's been in the bottle for maybe a few weeks.
Wow.
Nothing more. So Drew dropped them off to me the other day, and I was asking him for tasting notes. He sent me his tasting notes, but they haven't had their official tasting notes sent back from the sommelier yet. So that's kind of what you do when you put official tasting notes on your website. You can send off a bottle to get the description from someone.
Really? I had no idea. I thought that was just the marketing from whatever company it was.
Yeah.
But it's actually there's an official process you can go through.
There's a service.
Huh.
And
I want that job.
I know, right? I was like, how have I not been doing that?
Yeah.
So we're going to try this wine. We're going to give him some feedback. But yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what you guys think. So it's made with 100% Orion. As we know, Tair Gafr Wines, they make low intervention wines. So again, this is 9.5%, low ABV, whole bunch carbonic maceration.
We did that carbonic maceration again.
You know that carbonic maceration?
Wasn't that our band name?
No, we would be called native yeasts.
I'm going solo.
We haven't even started on the wine yet.
So, as usual, they do use native yeast, actually. So the yeast that are naturally living on the grapes, that starts the fermentation process. There's no additions of anything. The wine is then matured in Chardonnay barrels for 9 months and then gravity cleared.
Like a baby.
Yeah, like a baby. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Except you don't make babies in Chardonnay.
No, you don't have to birth it in the same kind of way. So yeah, there's no findings, no filtration, and this is the end result. So we'll have a drink and then we'll have a chat about it at the end.
And a reminder that they are friends of the pod.
Yes.
We went there in the summer.
We did. That was so much fun.
Glorious day. And obviously the name is Gafr Wen. So it's the
white goat. Well, that's the original. That's the first verse, isn't it? In the song is Gafr Wen.
Oh, please don't put it in my head again.
No, I'm not going to sing it. I promise. But I am glad.
I'll hold back.
Anyway, yeah.
Oz
Clarke. Anyway, go Google it.
Yeah.
Done it now. Done it.
It's in my head.
Very good. So we'll have a drink of that through the episode, and we will give you our thoughts at the end. In November, we had a little group trip to the Welsh Wine Awards.
Yeah, we did.
That was fun.
The Welsh Vineyard Association's Welsh Wine Awards, which was a brilliant night.
It was, wasn't it?
Out at Llanach in the Vale of Glamorgan.
Yeah.
Beautiful place.
Which is fantastic. And we all had a really nice night. But Sarah, you were royalty that night, weren't you?
VIP.
Yeah.
VIP.
Couldn't get near you. It was
The throngs of security.
Apart from at the end when I was sat by myself because Steve couldn't come and it was just an empty chair and loads of food being brought up.
Well, apart from that, you were a judge.
I was judging, and it was it was a really good experience. It's not my first time; that's the third time judging, and it is hard work. Oh my gosh, we started at 9, 10 o'clock, and then we quite literally were finishing off at 6 p.m. and then of course the awards were starting at 7. So by the time I came down and saw you guys, you're just there having a nice drink, and I'm like, oh my god.
How many wines did you end up tasting throughout the day?
Oh gosh, I can't remember now. It's at least 50.
Wow.
It wasn't as much as last year, but we still, I think the process of it just every time you think that you can speed it up, there's discussion to be had, and it's a really fair process as well, because it was myself, we had Oz Clarke, which was obviously very exciting. Wow. We had Jane Rakison as well, the amazing presenter, writer, author, and then we had Hugh from Avant Wine, who's actually a good friend of mine, and it was really interesting because we were all balancing each other out in terms of the marking process. So more often than not, we were kind of on par, but every now and again you might have one person judging slightly higher and one other person judging slightly lower, and then it would kind of balance out. But just the process itself, just having a discussion about these things and being like, I'm not fully understanding what you're getting there, but it was really fun, and it was really interesting. It was hard work, like I said. And then at the end, during the awards, we were presenting an awards to these amazing vineyards. And I just remember thinking, oh my God, I'm going to have to speak after Oz Clarke. It's really, really tough to follow, isn't it?
You did a great job.
I mean, Oz Clarke is he is a tough act to follow, but you did fantastic.
Thank you.
You were honestly, I know you were quite nervous about it, but you were really well prepared.
I'm always really nervous. People don't understand how nervous I get. I'm just sat there quietly going through what I want to say in my head, just clutching a glass of wine.
Honestly, you would never know how nervous you were, and I thought you did a phenomenal job.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
You did great.
Yeah, and the judging was great. So I have the list of the winners for those who haven't been following the whole thing.
Well done.
And I'm going to rattle through them, and I'm probably going to make mistakes.
No,
we'll do our best.
Yeah.
So, Champion Wine of Wales. So that's the big winner, right?
Mm-hmm. The overall winner.
Yeah. So that was Gwynllan Llaethlyw, which friend of the pod. We've had a few of their bottles. Best overall sparkling, Gwynllan Llaethlyw also.
Yeah.
Best PDO PGI.
Yeah, so like the protected region, not all of the wines have a PDO or a PGI. So you get an extra award if you are, in fact, kind of from a protected region as well.
Oh, okay.
And that was Gwynllan Llaethlyw.
I'm noticing it.
Wait a minute. What was the best sparkling white?
Oh, that was also Gwynllan Llaethlyw.
They did at the end of the night. They're just like they needed like a wheelbarrow,
just carrying out all the awards.
Yeah, bless
so
them.
much silver. So the best sparkling rosé was someone else. It was Jabberjack Vineyard, which we will have a little chat about them in a bit, won't we? Because we haven't really spoken about them much before.
No.
I don't think. The best overall still was the Dell Vineyard.
Also friends of the pod.
Indeed. The best still white was Vale Vineyard.
Yep.
Also a friend of the pod.
Yep.
We know how to pick them, don't we? That's the thing. The best still rosé was also the Dell Vineyard.
Woohoo!
And the best still red was Tair Vineyard, where we were.
Yeah, they did really well. It was a really impressive lineup, and I'm actually. So Jabberjack, they were sat on my table. So it's Steve and Jackie Moody. A great surname, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I did know who was going to win, and I couldn't say anything. And I was just sat on the same table as them, and just really, really chuffed for them, and just trying not to let anything, don't.
I remember coming in to talk to you because the great thing about the night was there was a big table in the middle of the room where you could literally just help yourself to all of the wines.
Walk up, pour a glass.
Which was fab. And I remember seeing you there, Sarah, and sort of looking at you and looking at the bottles and looking at you and looking at the bottles thinking, is she going to give me any hints here or
Nope.
give me anything? No, you were very professional.
Yeah, you gave nothing away.
Yeah.
Nope. I also like how they sat us right beside that table with all the wine on it. Like barely had to take 2 steps.
Oh, yeah, I could pretty much lean over at one point.
Yeah.
To take the wine. So that was fun. So we had a nice time. And just a question then, Sarah, to you as a judge. Was there kind of, you probably can't give too much away, but was there kind of like sometimes an obvious winner? Like, did you all kind of look at each other, oh yeah, this one? Or was it sort of a lot more into it than that?
It's a tricky one, I guess, because sometimes there is a clear winner, but quite often it's maybe between 2 or 3, and then you have to really, especially at the end, to pick the overall winner. We were there kind of, and we couldn't agree. It took us a long time. Yeah, we we all understood each other's points.
Yeah.
But it was a split room, because that's what happens with with 4 judges. So in the end, we had to like really discuss it and go into the real nitty gritties, which is we're talking like point decimals at this point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well done to Gwynllan Llaethlyw, who did eventually get there to receive their awards.
Well, because they weren't supposed to come. I think they were busy. They couldn't make it. But Jack messaged the head of the Welsh Vineyards Association, Andy, and said, "Oh, can we just pop in? We're in the area." And he said, "Yeah, of course." And he turned up, and I knew they were winning all these awards.
Oh, wow.
And he turns up in like joggers, like tracksuit bottoms, and like just a jumper.
I hope he won't mind me saying this, but I overheard him say that they'd stopped for a Nando's, I believe, on the way up.
Oh yeah,
they stopped at like MacArthur Glen for
yeah, they
Nando's.
they had a Nando's or something on the way instead of the lovely dinner that we had at Shannon.
Well, I think that was just a matter of timing though, because they're out in West Wales and they were like really too busy to get there in time for the dinner, but I think they had to be in the area or something like that anyway. So cheeky Nando's pop in and then just clean house.
And then
they're up in Aberystwyth, aren't they? That's not a quick journey.
Yeah, I don't know if they potentially were in the area anyway doing other things. But yeah, and then all of a sudden, and I knew he was getting these awards, and then all of a sudden he's just like, they kept being called up, and they were carrying, so that some of the main like the best still and the best sparkling, you got a silver plate, didn't you?
Yeah.
But then the best PDO and the best overall, I mean, they were getting really crazy with the shapes of these awards. There was a tank and a gobbler, and they just looked like they were walking out with a kitchen sink. It was so funny.
Absolutely brilliant. Okay, so yeah, great night. Brilliant winners. I've just listed them. They're on the Welsh Vineyards Association website as well. So do have a look, and it's a good guide to show you what a good quality Welsh wine is, I suppose.
So obviously I was there as a judge, so I was just busy, judging. But you guys came as customers, as punters. How was the experience for you guys?
It was really good. Like, I didn't really know what to expect. I mean, in terms of meeting all of the vineyard owners so far, everyone's been really, really nice. So I didn't think it would be like a snooty or snobby event in any way. And it was actually a really fun, really laid back night. And Jamie and I both brought +1s with us, who I don't think knew what to expect either. And
sure.
I know Adam, my +1, thought it was really nice. I think he was a bit worried it would be a very snobby event, but was looking forward to it. And he said everyone was absolutely lovely. The wines are great. It was a really, really nice atmosphere, and the speeches were fantastic. I think he was quite moved by Oz Clarke's.
And like
not to be. To be fair, I know, Jamie, you were quite touched by Oz Clarke's speech as well, and Oz's various quotes of famous people.
Yeah.
What was your favorite Oz Clarke quote?
Yeah, in fact, that he launched into that magnificent quote from that Swansea legend.
Are you talking about Dylan Thomas or you? Because Oz Clarke quoted both.
He did. And to be clear, he quoted me before Dylan Thomas.
Get your priorities straight.
Yeah.
Jamie Matthews of the Welsh Wine Podcast.
I literally nearly fell off my chair.
I know, you're sitting right beside me, and just like, you were beaming, but also trying to play it really,
That's
really
right.
cool.
That's exactly what I was doing.
I'm half cut beside him, like, Jamie, he's quoting you.
I'm like, look chill, look, pretend it's, it's fine, it's cool, you're used to this, It's,
got this flappy little Canadian beside you, getting all excited on your behalf.
And then I kind of, not long after that, then I kind of giddily wandered over to Oz Clarke, and I said, "Oh, hi, I'm Jamie. You quoted me in your speech." And then I started asking him about food and drink, which he was obviously on in the 90s. I think we've talked about this before on the podcast, and I loved it. And it was a kind of real formative program that was for anyone around my age. And I said, "And how's Jilly Goulden? Are you still in touch with her?"
What did he say?
He said he was, and he was trying to encourage her to do more with him. And I was like, "Please do, tell him I love her." Whilst I'm drinking more and more wine, it was so I probably embarrassed myself.
No, you did. You both did really, really well. I specifically enjoy how Angela basically drank the Dell out of rosé.
So at any given time, because I mean, we all know how much I love a Tair. Like, that's one of my, not just one of my favorite Welsh wines, but it's one of my favorite wines. It's so good. And at any given time, I had at least 2 glasses on the go.
I know, I noticed.
I had like the glass of sparkling I started with and never finished. And then I had one where I was, going around and trying some of the different wines, especially based on like whatever food I was eating. And then I always had my go-to glass of a Tair on the go as well. And Lucy mentioned something to you.
Yeah, she came up to me and she said, "I'm really worried. I don't think anyone's drinking our rosé." And I thought maybe because the label's not facing forward, so I keep moving it to make it more prominent. And I'm like,
always like an open bottle of it.
So she just assumed that no one was drinking it, and I was like, no, it's probably because Angela's drank all of it, and it's just that's always a fresh bottle that you're seeing. But she kept moving it around, trying to make it like put it right front and center so that people would pick it. I was just,
and I kept finding it and kept drinking it and kept enjoying it, and and
Well, and also the best still rosé.
exactly.
Exactly. Well, whilst I sat there nursing a pint for the rest of the evening because I'd had so much wine throughout the day.
So this was at Llaner, which is a vineyard, but also it's like a nice little resort that you can stay at. And I think one of the other winners has like a hotel you can stay at as well. You can visit the vineyard and stay at the hotel. And I think that was Jabberjack.
Yeah, Jabberjack. Right? Yeah, the winners of the best sparkling rosé. They've got restaurant rooms, really, really lovely. They've got five, 6 different wines at the moment as well. But the place actually looks beautiful.
And I've always wanted to stay there.
I keep saying this, but I'm like, we have to go there. Like every time we see these lovely places, I'm like, okay, we have to visit.
I think they're out Carmarthenshire way, aren't they?
Yeah. Kind of Carmarthenshire, Whitland.
Yeah, Whitland.
Yeah, exactly. And it just looks really lovely. They took over. When did they take over? About 2021, because there was a vineyard there before, run by other people.
Oh, okay.
So they've taken over. So the labels of their wines is the White House, and I can't remember. I think it was mentioned to me at some point, but there is some sort of connection with the Jabberjack Vineyard and the White House, as in America.
Oh, really?
And that's why they named. But we'll have to get them on and get the full story from them face to face. But yeah, I'm really, really chuffed that they won, and you should have seen their faces. They were really shocked and like so pleased.
Yeah,
and
they were.
There's nothing better, honestly. Right, Christmas.
So I thought we'd do this in sort of 2 parts really with Christmas. I thought we would start with gifts because Welsh wine is a brilliant gift idea, as we know, which we'll talk about in a sec. And then we'll talk about when to drink it and what to drink it with, and kind of do a bit of pairing for Christmas Day and various different events.
Yeah, cool.
So obviously, Sarah, you sell Welsh wines year round, but do you find that like the sales of Welsh wine go up around Christmas? Because it seems like the sort of thing that people might buy as a gift, because they're a little bit more expensive and obviously still very good value for money, but they, you might splash out on something like
Welsh wine sales go up drastically around the Christmas time. Like you say, I think is a really good gift-worthy bottle. It's something special. People do like to support local, and again, maybe the price point you're willing to spend a little bit more around Christmas time. So yeah, no, absolutely. I'm killing.
Because I know I've taken bottles of, well, especially later, back to Canada with me when I've gone back and taken it out and enjoyed it with friends who like wine, because it is quite special. It's like, oh, this is from where I live, and look how good it is.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people do that especially when they're traveling to England, when they're spending Christmas with English relatives. They feel the need to like plonk a bottle of Welsh wine on the table just to make a point. Yeah,
enjoy.
So
Wow.
Great idea. If you were sort of going for that, because Christmas gift, you're going to splash out a bit more, so the upper end of the budget, if you wanted to get something really special, something perhaps you stock, what would you suggest for a gift?
I think the sparkling wines, you just can't go wrong with the sparkling wines. They do tend to be a little bit more expensive. A lot of them will have had additional aging in bottle or in tank, so it takes, you are sitting on these bottles for much longer, so they are going to be more expensive, but they're so good. And I think it's just a Christmassy thing, isn't it? If you're going to like take a bottle around to someone's house and it's a celebratory drink, it doesn't have to be champagne. So I always go for like one of the Velfrey, the non-vintage sparkling wine that keeps winning awards. The Vale sparkling, Llaethliw, obviously they won the best sparkling. I don't actually have the Jabberjack in the shop, but I would definitely recommend a bottle of that. So there's loads of different options, definitely.
And those are a bit more sort of a higher price point, but if someone's on more of a budget and they still want to do something to support Welsh wine or to show off Welsh wine, are there options available?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the still wines are really reasonably priced, so you can get excellent rosés, whites, and still reds without having to really break the bank. But then I think you can get a bit creative here, because a lot of the vineyards will have vineyard tours, open days, that kind of thing that you can book in advance, and they're not that expensive. You can go and you can take a tour.
Oh, it's like a voucher for something like that.
Yeah, I think sometimes instead of if you don't want to buy the bottle itself, if you're not sure about the wine, I think gifting an experience is quite special, and it doesn't have to be that expensive.
And I guess that's quite good if you don't know someone's preference for wines. If they like reds or if they like whites, but they like wine, then Actually, that's a really, really good idea.
Yeah, and you can adopt a vine in a lot of these vineyards
Can
as
you?
well. Yeah, a lot of people do that. So, you can just adopt it and then it's yours and you can go and visit it. And didn't one of your friends adopt a vine at...
Yes, White Castle. It was bought for him for a birthday present.
See, there we go. So you can do that at Christmas time.
Oh,
A
that's cool.
special birthday. I won't say how old he was. 50.
Yeah, so there's lots of different things that you can do, especially on a budget.
So that kind of possibly answers my next question, because I was going to say, if you're a bit of a fussy wine drinker or not sure who the person you're buying for, do they really like wine that much, or something sort of easy drinking. But I suppose if you were suggesting a tour or a tasting or something, then that's a good idea. But is there a bottle you have in mind that's quite easy drinking and people seem to really love it, or what would you suggest?
If anyone says they're a fussy wine drinker, that basically means they only drink Sauvignon and Pinot Grigio.
Yeah.
No, but realistically,
Yeah.
that's what you mean. And so I just go for Solaris all the way.
Okay. Yeah.
Any of the big boy Solaris, Conwy, Vale, Llaethlow, they're all really good bets for those fussy Sauvignon Blanc drinkers.
Yeah.
And that is kind of, the Solaris does seem to be one of the signature wines of Wales, really.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I would go for. Or maybe just book them a dinner at Llanelcho.
So in terms of Christmas Day itself, or any sort of Christmas parties, what Welsh wines would you pair with different sort of traditional Christmas foods?
Ooh, okay. Well, what are we having for breakfast? Because I take this breakfast wine.
All right. So
what do you have for breakfast normally on Christmas Day?
So as a rule, my family has Eggs Benedict on Christmas morning. Yeah. That's ever since I was little, we've had that.
That is, do you know what? So obviously you could go for a sparkling wine if you're going to have like a little glass of fizz. Something maybe more traditional method, champagne styles, something with Seyval Blanc based or Pinot Noir based type thing, because that could be, you could add orange juice to it. But if you want to get a bit creative and actually pair your breakfast with an actual wine, then a lot of the low intervention styles here would go really well. So we've got the Val Free, the Naturiol, that's really, really low in ABV. And it's got that it's like a toastiness that goes well with any kind of, if you're going to have like smoked salmon, scrambled eggs or Eggs Benedict, that kind of thing. You could go for a pet nut, again, it's low in ABV and it tends to have that toastiness to it.
That's a good point, actually. The low ABV for breakfast. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you don't want to start your day. No,
do you?
exactly.
So I was thinking, because like a sparkling wine is a good breakfast wine, and a low ABV one, I can't remember the name of it, but the Dells.
Oh yeah, it was the Penaclave Sparkling Rosé.
That one, because that's fairly low ABV, and I think that would be a really nice one with.
And something nice and clean. Something. Sparkling wines cut through that, like the fatty elements in salmon as well, which is why it goes. It's such a good kind of breakfast wine. But yeah, I think any of the low intervention wines, maybe once we've properly tried the Gafr Wen, this might be the new Christmas Day breakfast wine.
Ooh.
You never know.
So we've done breakfast.
Yep.
Lunchtime then is no pressure here, because everyone eats different things, everyone does different traditions, and let's be inclusive here as well. My partner is a vegan.
I was just going to say, it's like, as the vegetarian at the table, we never worried about this until Jamie started talking to vegan.
I'll take your vegetarian, I'll raise you a vegan. So give us some options then for the lunch itself.
Okay, so if you're going to have like a traditional turkey dinner, it's a lighter poultry. So I think a lot of people assume that because it's a big Christmas meal that you need a really, really big boiled red. And I don't think that is the way forward, right? So you want something a little lighter. I tend to go for maybe like a creamier white, something with a bit more texture. But if you do prefer a red, then something lighter without too much tannin. And that's why, the Welsh reds are great there, because they're quite plummy and fruity and quite light in tannin. So something along those lines, and that also goes really well with kind of the veggies. It's a weird one. It is such a weird concept, because you're not just pairing it with the protein, you're not just pairing it with one thing. You've got so many things going on. So you can get creative. If you're more focused on spiced cabbage and that kind of those kind of flavors, then you might want to pick a red that will kind of complement something with a bit more of the spice.
Sprouts.
If you're going to pair it with the sprouts, well, white wine, Solaris.
Okay.
Green notes, kind of like green veg, it's really tricky to pair with. So I tend to go for a more kind of gooseberry.
So do you want something
white,
because it's like if you're having a roast dinner, it's quite. You don't want something to overpower it, presumably. Then
No. You want to try and match it as best as you can, or just have more than one thing on the table. I quite like having a glass of white and a glass of red during the same meal.
Do you?
So half a glass.
So decadent. You're so indulgent.
That's
it's called double parking, but whatever.
Well, it's not called that where I come from.
No, we're not going to go into that again. But yeah, I think you can be loose with it.
Yeah.
And the good thing about Welsh wines is, like I say, the Welsh ones have green notes as well as fruit that kind of matches the veggie side of things, and then the reds are not too overpowering. So, go for whatever.
So then you're heading then down towards sort of dessert. Where would you go with that then? Because for me, when I go for a restaurant, I think I've said this before, I tend to avoid the dessert because I don't want to spoil the wine. If the wine is good there, the first thing, if you have I don't know, pavlova or something. Who is a pavlova? I don't know what I'm thinking. But something sweet.
The 80s called. They want their dessert back.
Okay. Something that you would eat as a dessert, something that's sweet. What would you do with that?
We do have, so the White Castle does like a port-style fortified wine.
I was thinking that.
Yeah, they do a limited edition. So I think they make a barrel's worth every year.
It's really nice.
It is delicious
really nice.
and great with cheese boards and things as well.
Which tends to be my dessert if I go out for
that's it.
Some cheese and port.
But then the Conwy, they do green pudding. They do a dessert wine as well, as does Llaner. So there are kind of sweeter options.
Yeah.
I would also explore some of the rosés.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with it. We tend to forget about the rosé. I was going to say, actually, you could have a rosé with your Christmas meal as well, especially if it's veggie based, because you've got enough of the fruit, but without going, overpowering into a red. So get creative.
Okay, all right. So you can carry on drinking through your dessert, which is good news.
Just carry on drinking. Yeah,
it's Christmas. You wake up, you drink,
and cheese. Ange and I are both cheese fiends.
And me.
Yeah, and you too.
Yeah.
What would you suggest then for that? I mean, obviously the obvious one is the sort of port type wine, but
yeah. Or I tend to go for a white. I prefer. I think white wines pair better with cheeses in general.
Okay.
We're going for something a little bit more aromatic because red wines can just clash. Again, the Welsh reds are quite well suited to cheese boards because of just how they are in style. But yeah, my go-to is usually a white, especially if you had something with a bit of texture.
Like what sort of wine would you say has texture?
Like a Bacchus.
And so what about New Year's? What would you suggest for a New Year's toast or a New Year's party?
Obviously, sparkling wine is the go-to. I think maybe a pet nat,
Ooh.
Yeah, because I know we like to drink a lot of sparkling wine on New Year's Eve. I can only drink so much. I don't know about you guys. It does get not boring, but I think that's enough. But a pet nat will be a little lighter in style, and the bubbles aren't as harsh as well.
Just because I'm a bit thick, can you remind me what a pet nat actually is?
So pet nat, short for pétillant naturel, is like a rustic, old school, naturally sparkling wine that's made by bottling the wine before the fermentation finishes.
Right.
So you tend to get a lower ABV because it doesn't go through two fermentation processes. And the fizz is much softer, which is why you can cap it with a crown cap as opposed to cork, because the pressure is much lower than a traditional method sparkling wine. So I think, and because there's so much variation in the pet nat, it's not just going to be like a champagne style, what you're expecting. You could have like 3 different pet nats and they would taste wildly different from each other. So it feels like more of a journey.
And
an actual tasting, which is, I don't know what I'm into.
No, I think that's a good. I was. I'm sorry to do this again.
Go on.
I was in France last week.
Oh yeah,
of course you were.
And I did see loads of pet nats on the menu.
Did you?
Yeah. And I was really surprised.
Okay.
We did go. I think one of the places we went to was like a natural wine bar.
I mean, that'll do it, yeah.
Yeah, and there were plenty of pet nats on the list, but I was just like, I learned what a pet nat was, and now I see it on the list in France.
Now you can't stop seeing it.
Were the labels all really funky?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And the wax and all that.
Yeah.
Not on the pet nats, but there was wax on the bottles, and you see the wax, you're like, it's going to be natural wine.
It's going to be natural wine.
Yeah.
It's a telltale sign.
It is. But yeah, no, it was good.
So, of course, around the Christmas period, everyone tends to drink quite a lot. And then we've got New Year's as well. And then January for me, obviously my shop sales go down massively because people are doing dry January. question for you guys. Are you going to be doing dry January this year?
Absolutely not. I'm going to. Adam and I are going to Paris for 4 days early in the new year, so that would be a horrible time.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely horrible time to not drink if you enjoy some wine. So, nope.
Okay.
No one likes a quitter.
Jamie?
I'm actually going to have a go this year.
Are you?
First time ever, but I just feel like I need a bit of a rest from the booze.
Fair. Yeah.
How about you?
That's fair. I'm considering it.
Yeah.
I've done like a drizzly January in the past. They're making an effort, so it's just a little drizzle.
I was gonna say a moist January, but I don't like that at all. Nope, that's not a thing. Well, like one of the issues is because we have this period of festivities. It's Christmas, it's New Year's, and there's just lots of drink, and we forget what day it is, and we feel like we need to detox come the New Year. But did you know that it's only for the last few hundred years that Christmas and New Year's have been so close together?
What do you mean?
So Christmas on the 25th of December and New Year's on the 1st of January haven't always been on those dates.
What do you mean?
Well, holidays are a social construct.
Okay.
So up until 1750 or 1752 in Britain, Christmas was on the 6th of January.
Okay.
Which is the Feast of the Epiphany, which is when the three wise men, if you could see this, I just did like this little walking motion with my hands. The three wise men went to see baby Jesus. So that's the Epiphany. That's also 12th night as well. So it's 12 days after Christmas. So that was traditionally Christmas Day up until the 1750s. And New Year's was in March. It was the 25th of March. And this is according to the Julian calendar.
Right.
Now, most of Europe had already shifted over to the Gregorian calendar, which is the one that we have now, which has 365 days for the most part, with the occasional leap years. The problem was the number of days in the Julian calendar meant that like the seasons were sort of getting out of sync. There just weren't enough days. So it was getting a bit messed up. So finally Britain changed. And Christmas Day was put earlier, so the 25th of December, and then New Year's was brought up to the 1st of January. So if you were, before the 1750s, you would have celebrated on those things on different days. But I mean, there was loads more religious festivals anyway. So
I mean, that makes sense why in Spain they celebrate Tres Reyes, the three kings, on the 6th.
Yeah,
that's right.
Exactly. And that's the Eastern Orthodox Christmas. So when I was growing up, I had a bunch of friends who were from Eastern Europe, and they'd have their Christmas celebrations in early January.
Yeah, Christmas before last, I was in Madrid, actually, and I remember going to the San Miguel market, the sort of food market there.
One of my favourites.
That was my Christmas day.
Yeah.
And it was the best thing ever. But I was so obsessed before I went of making sure, you sure you're going to be open now on Christmas Day? You sure? So I had these visions of sitting in a hotel room on my own on Christmas Day crying. But
it's a really big day in Spain, and they have these huge parades, and they just throw like sweets out to the crowds. It's amazing.
Well, the change in the date of Christmas and New Year's and stuff, you do see that kind of influencing Welsh traditions as well, or when we now celebrate certain Welsh traditions, or when you see them crop up, because it's like, is it a Christmas tradition or is it a New Year's tradition? And you see it happening kind of around both. And one of those is the Mari Lwyd.
Yeah, Mari Lwyd.
Have we all heard of the Mari Lwyd?
Yeah.
The terrifying
horse skull. So for anyone who doesn't know what the Mari Lwyd is, it's a Welsh tradition, although it has appeared in other parts of Britain as well, but we'll call it a Welsh one because it's very Welsh. So it's a horse's skull on a pole, and it's decorated, usually covered with a sheet, because underneath it there's someone walking around with the
puppeteering.
Yeah, exactly. This like dead horse puppet thing. But what would happen is you
when you say it,
I know, when you say
out loud.
Most traditions, when you say it out loud, it's like, it's actually kind of weird.
Yeah.
Humans are weird, but that's what makes us great.
Yeah.
But this horse would be paraded around. There'd be a group of revelers going around door to door, reciting poetry. And some people have compared it sort of to like a rap battle, where you go up to a door, you knock on the door, and there's poetry recited or songs sung, and there's an expectation that there might even be like a call and response. And then everyone shares some drinks and food. So it's a community celebration that brings everyone together by someone going, or this group of people going door to door, and then you share in sort of drinks and festivities. Traditionally, it was a Christmas festivity, a Christmas ritual, but when Christmas was in January.
So that's why.
So that's why
there's that overlap.
Yeah. So is it a Christmas thing or is it a New Year's thing? So it's just a winter festival thing because it probably predates Christianity anyway. But that's why you see it both around Christmas and New Year's, because in a lot of other traditions it's either Christmas or New Year's, but this seems to span this Christmas period, and I think it's great. I
feel like it's kind of coming back as a thing now as well, isn't it?
It is.
As in, you see it around a lot more. We were just looking at some comedy T-shirts. I think it's. I actually saw it at a wedding in the summer. Do you remember me sending the pictures?
Yeah.
Right. Which that's way off the wall, but but even still, I didn't know what that was when I was a kid. But now it's like. Yeah, and it's nice.
We used to have the Mary Lloyd come to our school.
Did you?
Yeah, because one of there was a girl in my. I think it's kind of like a family tradition, because you do tend to have families who have one at home, and that would be that's what they would do, and they would be in charge of. I say puppeteering. I don't know if there's a better word,
because it's kind of a puppet.
So her parents had one, and they would bring it to school and kind of show us all. And I genuinely, I'm thinking, if I showed Lena, she's almost 5, but I do not think she would be too impressed with it. I think she would be terrified of it. But or maybe I just need to show her, and then you're Welsh, deal with it.
It's interesting you mention that, because there's written references to it going back to at least the 1800s. I've found what I think is a reference to one in a criminal case. I won't go into details around the crime because it is quite horrible. But a woman says that the reason a bad thing happened was because she was frightened by, and then she doesn't describe the Mary Lloyd, but she describes the ritual, the sound of revelers and being terrified, and that was the cause of a particular crime, and that was in Neath, I think around the turn of the century. So it is seen as even historically, it's something that is terrifying as well. So it's got that sort of that folk element of it. It's a bit scary, but it's a bit jolly as well. So speaking of Lena, then, what are your Christmas traditions with her? Do you have Santa Claus, or do you have Father Christmas? Or
no. We have Sean Corn.
Chimney John.
What? Is that what it literally translates as?
It's one of the translations. So Sean Corn is the Welsh Santa or Father Christmas. Well, Sean is the Welsh for John.
Yeah.
And corn means like
corn.
It means like
horn.
Yeah, horn is one of the so it could be like a horn of plenty, which you get with like celebrations, or like maybe a horn of like full of ale or something like that. So there's a jolly element.
Chimney John.
But corn is also like a stack or a chimney, and they like
makes sense.
And like Santa, Sean Corn comes down the chimney and rewards kids and keeps an eye on kids throughout the year to make sure, are you being naughty or are you being nice? But according to some, he actually lives in the chimney year round, because how else is he going to keep an eye on you and then bring you presents? So Sean
terrifying.
So Chimney John lives in your house and watches your children, and once a year comes down and decides whether they're good or bad.
Lena's going to be sitting there with her one eye open in bed, isn't she?
She's not going to sleep at all.
No. Maybe she'll need a Mary Lloyd to keep Chimney John.
Well, to be fair, in our house, we leave Sean Corn a mince pie, a glass of sherry, and Steve's decided that he also likes IPAs. so I think he'll be happy to he'll just drink those and climb back up the chimney from whence he came.
I was going to say, is that mince pie gluten-free?
Yes, also gluten-free. He's quite problematic, our Sean Corn.
The fuzziest Chimney John.
Okay, as it's Christmas, I just wanted to say something nice to you, Sarah. We're just about to sort of talk about where you can buy Welsh wine, and of course, you have a shop.
Yes,
we may have mentioned it a few times.
You do? I had no idea.
Yeah,
what a great idea.
Yeah, Vin Van Cymru.
And
you've given us a huge amount of time this year, whilst juggling childcare, business, hard work. We've managed to put a podcast together, and likewise with you, Angela. I'm feeling festive. It must
you are. I
haven't even drunk the wine yet.
But I like how he's like very specific with you. Sorry, he's like, oh, and you, Angela.
It really didn't mean it like that. I was going to move on to more.
No. I'm just teasing. That's really sweet of you.
We've done something quite special this year and create this podcast, and really, I think your business needs a big shout out here for Welsh
100%.
wine, because
thanks, guys.
you've got a great range of Welsh wine there. Most of which what we've mentioned today is available.
Yeah.
This podcast is going out before Christmas,
and
that's not a threat to Steve for editing support. It is going out before Christmas,
isn't it, Stephen?
So if you are looking for a nice gift, you can't go wrong with a bottle of Welsh wine. You've got a fantastic selection in the shop there in the Cork Market in Canton.
Yep.
Vin Van Cymru, please Google it if you don't already frequent Sarah's business,
because the wine is also available online through vinvancymru.co.uk.
That's true. Yep.
And not just to collect, you also ship as well.
Yeah, so I do a click and collect service, we do local delivery, and we do UK wide shipping. Yeah.
I mean, the absolutely, and your website's great, and so is your Instagram socials.
Thanks.
And
me
you're
just
great.
making a muppet out of myself on a daily basis.
It sells wine.
But if you're anything like me, actually going into the shop is great too, and you get to. I mean, on a weekly basis, I pop in to see you, and
Same.
and so does Angela. Yeah. And then I'm just like,
that's why I get no work done.
Yeah.
I actually get the staff discount at the Corp.
Do you really?
I do.
Brilliant.
To be fair, I do sometimes, with wines and crepes. I do. But yeah, I do. There's so much I get the staff discount.
That's fantastic. You obviously you run your tasting events there as well often, and it's nice to have a bit of advice from you and your team actually, who are all very knowledgeable, and you know your stuff, and depending on your mood, depending on the occasion, you can give a bit of advice. So
depending on
my mood or your mood.
Well,
she always gives advice.
But it is one of my favourite things to do. It's that chat, isn't it? It's that contact when somebody tells you what they're looking for, how much they want to spend, what the occasion is or how they're feeling, and then just being able to find the right wine for them.
And you're right on it. Like, you ask the right questions. Really, really accessible. I've seen people come into your shop who don't know anything about wine. They're buying a gift for someone who is a wine drinker, or maybe the customer is new to wine, and you always make them feel really, really welcome. You're not talking down to them. You're not being snobby about wine. You're actually trying to just find something that they like, or that the person they're buying for likes, and you do it in a really, really accessible, really, really friendly way.
Oh, thanks, guys. My gosh, this
told
is...
you it was Christmas.
Yeah, no.
That's it now.
I don't know what to say. Okay.
and for you, Jamie.
Back in my box.
Jamie.
And you as well. Yeah.
And of course, you're Cardiff-based. You do delivery, you do ship, but there are loads of other small independent shops and businesses that sell Welsh wine as well. So you can often buy it direct from the vineyards.
Yep.
Or from small businesses near the vineyards. But there are a handful of other shops or places similar to yourself that I thought we would it's worth listing off, and some of these are
just give them a shout.
There's some of them are South Wales, some of them are North Wales, but Berry Island Spirits Co. is one of them, and I think they do tastings as well, or you can go in and have a glass.
I think so, yeah.
They're licensed for that as well, which is quite nice. And then up north we have
Gwyn Dylanwad in Dolgellau.
Here in Cardiff as well, very, very close to my heart and very close to my house, is the Welsh Cheese Company, where I'm not sure if I've mentioned this or not, but I popped in there once and was talking to someone about some wines, and one of the men who runs it comes out and he's like, "I'm really sorry, do you have a podcast?"
Because he recognised your accent. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Looking at the Welsh wines and talking to someone about something, and he came out, and he had just, because they because he knows cheese, he doesn't know much about Welsh wine, and found our podcast to use it as a way to get up to and it was
that's amazing.
Nice little chat. And I'm like,
oh, cool.
And also, not many people sound like me.
One of a kind, our Angela.
Anyway, moving on. We've got Blasser Void. And where are they based?
So they're up north as well, but they do. You can order online. It's a huge company. They've got an excellent selection of Welsh wines.
Then there's Vino Mundo in Conwy.
Yeah, they're great.
And I think Uncorked in Cardigan Market does Welsh wines as well. It's an independent wine shop, so check it out no matter. But it's there. He's set up a wine shop there, so it's worth checking out. Just go and support local, support independent, and buy some Welsh wine. And if in doubt, vinvancymru.co.uk.
Okay, let's get into this wine.
Like we haven't been this entire time.
Look at that, though. So the colour...
So just a reminder then. Tair Gafr Wen.
Tair Gafr, from Tair Gafr Vineyard, it's Gafr Wen, the 24 vintage, 100% Orion, which we actually saw in the vineyard when we did the tour.
Yes, we did.
It's their white variety. So it's not been fined or filtered.
It looks to me like a farmhouse scrumpy. It's got that kind of
it
that
does
cloudy,
have that, like hazy,
and that sort of natural vibe to it. So yeah, it's not clear. It's kind of, I think it's a lovely kind of like hazy golden color.
And it's got such an aromatic nose as well.
It does.
Really floral, like gooseberry, elderflowery,
but kind of like citrusy as well, but like bright citrus, like lemony.
Yeah, it's got really sharp citrus hit actually.
I don't have the words like you two, but I
You just said it's nice. Isn't that what you said?
I said it was really nice. Actually,
really nice.
Yeah. No, it's very fresh. It's very drinkable. I can see exactly what you were saying now, but kind of Christmas lunchy type thing, or even breakfast because it's
9.5%.
This would cut through my gallon of hollandaise.
Oh yeah.
I think. Do you know what? I think this would go really, really well with eggs, with hollandaise, with eggs Benedict, with smoked salmon in particular. It's got
or lobster,
because it's dry. But it's got this nice lifting kind of acidity. It's quite lively. Almost it's like it wants to be spritzy, even though it's not.
Yeah.
And that would cut through that like the hollandaise. And it's got a really nice, like, it's tart green apple, but also honeyed fruit. So it's got everything there, really, isn't it?
And I have to admit, on paper, there's a lot about this wine that isn't to my palate, or in theory isn't to my palate. I don't tend to like natural wines. I don't tend to like wines that have that kind of vibe where it's like reminiscent of a scrumpy, that sort of thing. But I love this.
This is really
I could
good.
drink this for days.
Yeah.
I everything you just said, I completely agree with. I'm kind of similar on the natural wine front, but that is really, really nice.
It is, isn't it? And I think what's so great, we've talked about their branding before, but they've got a wax seal on the top. So this one is obviously white. So the red has a red, the rosé has the pink one. It has a stamp of a goat on the top. Yeah. And just the image itself. They've done such a good job.
This as well.
Absolutely.
It'd be a really nice gift.
Yeah, 100%. And they're just really nice people, really nice family doing really good work. So it's also, it is nice when you know the people behind the wine. Drinking this, it's like, oh, well done, Drew. You're done good. And that's it adds a little something extra to it as well when you just know it's a family doing a thing on the side.
It does kind of epitomise why we set this podcast up, doesn't
exactly
it?
Absolutely right.
Wonderful people, great personalities behind the bottles, very nice product at the end of it,
just good stories behind the bottles as well.
And it's just down the road. I always find that when I'm drinking Welsh wine, I just think what a lovely feeling it is. Like, this was made just down the road. It was grown. It was, with love. If I'm being corny about it, but they really do enjoy what they do, don't they?
Yeah, and I think it's quite funny that I went to a harvest recently. We went to the Welsh Wine Awards where we then judged all of the wines and gave them markings. And this has quite literally only been bottled. We've kind of gone full circle, haven't we? And I think that kind of represents the entire year. This has been a project of over 12 months now, hasn't it? It was about 12 months ago that you came into my shop and said, I've got an idea. And I was like, oh, Christ.
And I just, oops, I just happened to be there. Because that never happens.
I had a cold then as well. So there we are, full
cycle. But we've done, I think what we've done over the past 12 months is, it's been hard work. We've had lots of fun, but it has been hard work. And I really hope that people understand what it is that we're trying to achieve with the podcast. And we've still got work to do. Looking forward to getting some ideas on paper for the next season.
We already have some fun ideas up our sleeves as well. So looking forward to getting on with those in the new year.
Yeah. But I think this is a nice place to finish after Christmas. Yeah. And then maybe take a break.
Yes.
Take a break, drink some wine.
Give Steve a break from editing.
Yes.
Drink, what is it that Jennifer Coolidge quote with the soup, but it's like, drink wine, not drink wine for the next month or so. We like to drink wine and not drink wine all day.
No, it's been really fun, and I think we've all learned how to make a podcast, which is quite something from nothing. We got the kit, we got the space, we learned how to do it. I watched some videos, tutorials, etc. But we've made some great friends as well. Like we've
done some pretty cool things too.
Yeah, we have. I mean, I was thinking the other day back to, was it February when we went up to Tintern Abbey?
Oh yeah,
St Barbara Farm. Was that February? I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe March. And, the vineyard was, it was proper winter then, wasn't it? Just some twigs. there, and we've seen the whole things grow. We've been to the Vineyards tastings. You've done the harvest. We've been to the wine awards, and we've done full circle here. So
Yeah,
it's great.
Well done, guys.
Good.
Yes.
Well, that sounds like a great place
Llong
to
gyfach
leave it.
I ni.
And so thank you everyone who's listened to it, who's shared it, who's told their friends about it, who's followed us on Instagram, etc., etc. Please keep doing that. We will be back with a new season with some new ideas. Please get in touch with us if you've got any ideas or you want to invite us to your vineyard and your hotel and any of those things. And please do support Vin Van Cymru over Christmas.
Thanks.
What a wonderful place to leave it. Iechyd da.
Iechyd da.